welcome to the 16th episode of Conscious Awakening, where we talk about spiritual experiences and holistic forms of healing. And today we have Brian. Oh my God, I never know how to say your last name.
Nguyen is fine.
Okay.
Nguyen.
Today we have Brian Nguyen. And we just randomly met up at a bar. Not because we didn't try to meet up at a bar, but we just ran into each other at a bar because I was going to a go-away party and he was at a birthday. Anyway, it's beside the point. So he was telling me about his first experience of DMT, and he is very excited to kind of share about it.
So
I kind of spoke for you. My bad.
That's great.
So wait, just to preface before he says anything. So, each person has their own experience. So if you ever do try it, I'm not condoning it, but if you ever have the experience to try it, don't have his story become your expectation, and definitely be open to whatever it has to offer. And also, DMT is within us. It's already in us. So it's strange that.
They say pituitary gland produces some of it. It's small amounts of trace within your body and stuff like that. Say when you dream, but there's not too much proven facts behind DMT. The fact is it's still very unknown, which is why people are still reluctant to dabble.
They're kind of scared.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm getting myself
I don't blame
into.
you exactly,
Yeah.
but it is known that it is produced within many plants and animals. It's called, the full name of DMT is dimethyltryptamine. And it's a derivative of tryptamine, which is kind of if you think of methamphetamines and what's Adderall, they're very similar to each other in chemical structure, minus one thing or not. And, just some background about myself. I'm just a Joe Schmo. I just know,
You're not a Joe Schmo. You're an
I don't
awesome
have
person.
any expertise in psychedelics or anything like that. It's just more of just my experience with the DMT. But, so this DMT, this, special compound that's different from tryptamine, it just gives you these psychedelic visions, and it comes in many forms. A lot of people have it in, kind of crystallized form, which is the most common. And it looks kind of sketchy because you smoke it out of a crack pipe. And I'm not about that. Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me just make sure that the audio is still good. I don't know what to press without having to. Okay, cool. Just making sure. It's Mercury retrograde, so technology is weird. So I just want to double check everything. Anyway, sorry.
Cool.
Continue.
All good. And so I tried my first experience of DMT through a pen that's in wax or oil form, which is very convenient because, you think it's just like a weed pen or something like that. And it's very interesting. So when I took my first hit, I did not know what to expect. But everyone I've shared it with, your body feels like you just get hit instantly. Nothing has ever hit me that fast before and that hard.
Oh, so there's not grace period before it actually.
Yeah, you just boom. All of a sudden, you feel like your body is getting ripped apart slowly, but it's not painful or anxiety anxious
cool.
feel. Yeah, you're just melting into the ground or the chair or whatever you're doing, sitting down, and then right afterwards, your perception of light changes. So a light that you might see in your house may turn into a different hue of green or something like that. Kind of these weird psychedelic backdrops and stuff like that. So yeah, and then after that, it kind of takes your anxiety away, but it's not a drug that you do. So when you take your hit, a lot of people, they try to control because they're very analytical, and they're they're trying to analyze what is happening to my body right now. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
it basically hijacks your mind, but you're still you. You know what I mean? It's you're in the passenger seat of the DMT that's driving at the moment. That's how I can kind of
DMT that's
driving.
Just
sit
DMT,
back
take the wheel.
and enjoy the ride. That's basically what's happening.
I just find it funny that there's just a bunch of children around us, and we're talking about DMT.
So. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully they can.
Oh, by the way, we're at Nevada Trails Park. We're having a lovely picnic because we're hungry.
Yes.
And sunset's at 6:30 now.
So it'll be kind of nice.
Cheers to Sprouts for having to-go food, and to Andre for letting us heat up our food at his house. But yeah, I have had the opportunity to do it, but I felt like I wasn't ready. Or I felt like I didn't have the need to. But now I'm actually more interested to, because I do want to open up the visual side of my
Okay.
spiritual side.
So,
Does that make sense?
yeah, the thing with DMT, though, it does stay in your hair for about 6 months if you do get tested.
Mhm.
But the thing is, jobs never specifically test for that.
Mhm.
So you'll be in the clear. And plus, it leaves your, like, urinary tract system, like, really fast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Fun facts.
Yeah, fun facts.
If you need drug testing and
yeah.
you want to do DMT.
Exactly. So, yeah, I recommend when people do DMT, they take 3 separate small hits. Because when you take that first one, it'll take you up. Then you'll start to kind of plateau and go down. That's when you take the other one. And then when you get to the second stage, that's when you start closing your eyes and you start seeing a lot of the geometric shapes. A lot like what people, they say this part's like acid.
It's like, do you see shapes like sacred geometry shapes?
Geometry shapes, all kinds of things. And I had a friend where I gave him the DMT, and so you were right next to me. All of a sudden, you were like really far, like meters
Like your
away.
depth perception is
Yeah,
off?
so then when you turn, all of a sudden you're like right over here. And then he closed his eyes, so one side he would just see geometric shapes over here, and then his other friend would be right here. And it just messes with your cognitive abilities like crazy. Or I don't even know what it does, but it makes you see things in ways that you never expect to see them.
See, hear.
Yeah, or like in colors, it's like, wow, I didn't even know these colors existed. You know? And it's funny because everyone experiences these steps in similar stages. They may see different variations of things, but like in the end, it's pretty much all the same. Like you get that intense body high, and then you see the geometric shapes, which forms into a tunnel around you. And you'll see this tunnel, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's when you want to take the other hit, which most people are really scared to do at this point. I know I was at first. I saw the tunnel, I kind of just stopped. I was like, oh, that's a cool vision. And then, I tried again a few weeks later, and one day I was just like, screw it. Let's just see what happens.
Let's go a little deeper.
Yeah, and so that's completely different than what I've ever experienced in my life. So I don't know if you've ever had a near-death experience before,
I have not.
but you know when people say they see that white light?
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen that white light before.
Without the use of drugs.
Yeah, without the use of drugs. So I basically got into a fight a long time ago. Someone huge, right? He beat me up, pummeled me, and like choked me out to the point where I stopped breathing or whatever. And I saw the white light. And then as like all those flashes were like coming through my face, I saw like a slideshow of my entire life in pictures. And that's when like everything went white and everything was really warm. You felt like you were floating and stuff like that. And as I was zooming further into the white light, I woke up. So I never really knew what was after the white light. So with the help of DMT, I kind of saw what was after the white light.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Makes
when
me
I
curious.
passed through the tunnel, I was surrounded in like this divine light. And all of a sudden, it formed into like a giant tree, like the tree of life.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
mentioned
and
that.
then a lot of different colors from like different, like all the spectrums of the colors. It's colors I haven't even seen before. And it's really hard to describe your visions just because how do you explain something to someone they've never seen or can
seen
even
or
fathom?
experienced, yeah.
But I was listening to Pink Floyd, which I think really helped guide my trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was listening to Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which is like a 20-minute song, but I got 15 minutes in and that's when it ended. And the only reason I knew how much time has passed was because the part in the song I was able to track through. But otherwise, I felt a lifetime passed.
Wait, so it only lasts for like 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was so quick.
Yeah, well, if you do ayahuasca tea, which is, you brew it and all that stuff, some people have had spiritual journeys for up to about half a week.
Half a week?
Yeah, imagine
man.
DMT for half a week. It's insane. Yeah,
I mean, I can't even imagine it right now for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something I want to experience.
Yeah, but to me, it's weird how everyone sees similar things because they meet an entity. Like, that's an almost guaranteed. And I don't know why, but it makes me think of, like, a collective consciousness. I'm not very woke by any means in terms of other people that have been on the show, I think. They're more in tune with their spirituality, and I'm not.
Don't compare yourself.
Yeah, I mean... And it's not something that really gets me down. It's just kind of just the fact of what I think about on a daily basis, But it's helped open my eyes to just seeing things in a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I no longer fear dying.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. These beings that I saw, they were like cosmic travelers. They're shaped like Buddhas. I'm atheist, but I was raised Buddhist, which is why I think subconsciously or consciously I thought about that. Yeah, I created that image myself. And basically, as my come down, they were like, "All right, it's time for you to go." And then they kind of warp speeded away, like in the sci-fi films. And I got sent down, and I saw like all the stars and everything, like straight back into my body. And I was like,
you're like, what just happened to me?
Exactly, what just happened? And afterwards, you just feel really sleepy, just because it's such an intense experience. And yeah, you just kind of just want to fall asleep. Mm-hmm.
It's just how you say that you're not, like, you don't consider yourself woke or awakened. I remember going through Google, and there was this blog post about signs that you're becoming, or you're going through your phase of awakening, and one of them was losing the fear of dying, because death is something that, I mean, is a natural progression. And
exactly.
I think it just, as we grew up, people get scared of death because they just...
And I think just most people don't understand what consciousness is. Well, actually, I don't think anyone knows what consciousness is. Like, where did it come from? How did it evolve into what we are now? You know what I mean? What was the first consciousness like? It was like animals or single-cell organisms that was just trying to find sources of food. And then somehow it became us.
Yeah, it's like somehow we became one thing of many organisms.
Yeah, and it's like, what does the consciousness do after we die? Does it go somewhere? I don't know. Maybe
well,
the
it's
collective
up to you.
consciousness.
Well, I think it always depends on the person and what they believe in.
Yeah.
For me, what I've been learning so far is that there's a source. I don't know what that source is, but I mean, everything's got to have a source. It's got to start somewhere. But
Okay.
what that source is, we don't really know. It's like one of those unknowns that...
Yeah, I guess scientists believe right now it's the Big Bang Theory or even quantum theory, but that's even yet to be proven.
Yeah, even that's just like something that's still being like researched. And
what do you think about the universe being a simulation?
I don't know about that.
Well, it can't be disproven.
I know. Like, I mean, I'm open to it. I'm not saying that it's wrong or it's not true. I mean, I just haven't had the experience to like consider that as something that I truly believe in right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
for me, it's fun to kind of think that way, only because it just frees up certain limitations. I feel like I can do whatever I want and just do things without just judgment. I'm like, who cares? Simulation.
Yeah, like a video game.
Yeah.
Essentially, you can do whatever you want in a video game.
Kind of, yeah. I just have to find the source codes and cheat codes, and maybe I can be immortal.
and then motherload everything, like on The Sims.
But yeah.
But I've heard other people saying that we're just in a dream, too. Not really a simulation, but a dream.
Well, isn't a dream technically kind of a simulation that your brain makes up?
But I mean, I don't know. Just for me, in the perspective of simulation, I just feel like it's more on the technological aspect.
Yeah, more sci-fi, right?
Yeah, more sci-fi. Where dream is more like ethereal and spiritual side.
More metaphysics.
Yeah, more metaphysics. But you know, anything's out there. It's like how my friend always talks about flat Earth. He doesn't disprove it, but he is open to what other people have to say. And then I think that's just like the big thing that I've learned too about spirituality, is to be more open and to not really immediately say no, that's not true to anything, but to just delve deep and ask more questions.
So what you're saying is kind of like, instead of trying to disprove someone, just more of trying to see their point of view type stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone has their own belief system, or everyone has different things that they've learned throughout their entire life. And how I learn is through other people. And that's why I do this. I'm like, I like to learn.
But what about like people that are just blatantly wrong and they've refused to change, and it's like prohibiting growth of humans as a species?
Oh, well then that's if it doesn't. Sorry, I go back. Then if it doesn't resonate with me, then I don't take it in.
Gotcha.
But it's not like if somebody's wrong, I don't judge them for it.
Okay.
It's just like, well, if they think that way, then okay, cool. It doesn't resonate with me, then I just let it go. Like thoughts, you just let it go if it doesn't serve you. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be more beneficial for you to help them kind of like change their perspective into seeing what's right. So kind of like converting them into your own idealism.
Do this. Well, I mean, I learned that you can't really change people. You can only be an example of, like, do you and what you believe in, and then be an example to other people, so that when they look at you, then possibly they could change.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of.
Yeah. I learned that you can't really change people. They gotta change for themselves. And so it's cool because before, when I started my podcast and you DM'd me and you're like, I believe about some things that Paris said objectively and subjectively.
Oh, yeah.
And now, wait, did you watch it after you tried DMT, or was that before?
I think it was. When was that episode posted?
November. Oh, so you did it after.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you did it before.
I did before.
You did it before.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't really think about it too much. I had so much time to process it, you know what I mean? That I feel like I'm such a different person than I was just 6 months ago.
Hey, man, change can happen in a day.
Yeah.
Not like, maybe not major change, but just even the slightest change.
Oh, but one thing that did change a lot was ever since I did DMT, my mental imagery has been stronger, as well as my dreams have been way more vivid. So I don't know.
You've been remembering them more?
Yeah, I remember them more, and they're just more crazy and abstract. And then just when I just try to mentally picture like graphs or like, you know,
it's just more.
concrete. It's just there and it's stronger. Yeah.
Yeah. Just sharpen level 50.
Which is one-time use. That's crazy.
Yeah, one time, yes. Yeah. I mean, I used to be.
It's not addictive at all. Yeah, it's like most people that just do it once and they're like, all right, I think I'll never do that again. But you know what? It was really fun.
Yeah. I feel like that way for like any type of drug. Well, maybe not any. I don't know, but. I used to be that type of person to be like, oh my god, I'm never gonna do drugs. Drugs are bad, because that's what I was taught when I was growing up. Like, you know, DARE, you know, whoever remembers DARE. What does it stand for again? I forgot.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember, but I don't even know if DARE still exists today.
Yeah, probably not. I think just telling someone no without the reasons as to why, it's very repressive.
Yeah. Or maybe they did tell us reasons, we just don't remember it. I don't know.
Because I remember they just blatantly said that drugs are bad, to stay away from them, and they never really told you why. You know what I mean? And it's just like telling someone no, it's in our nature to like rebel.
Yeah, the reverse psychology
yeah,
of
and it's just the whole aspect of just being a person is to ask questions. So if you just tell someone no without giving them, you know,
a reason.
Yeah, they're gonna do things.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I grew up, because sometimes my mom would be like, no, you can't do this, and sometimes she would give a reason. It would be just completely abstract, and I'm like, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like with a lot of older generation people, is like they're stuck in their ways, you know, because humans are creatures of habit. So I think with a new generation of people that are growing up so technologically advanced, information is everywhere at the snap of our fingers. We're just so much more intelligent than them in terms of, or we can be, because of evolution, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can get anything we want if we, you know, don't lose our will.
If we manifest it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if like our generation's more, not really intelligent, but they're just more aware of who they are as a person rather than just following a pattern like the older generation would.
I think so. I think it dates back to the Industrial Revolution, because back when factories were popping up, everyone, you know, was moving into work in, you know, big cities and stuff like that, and people had to do these jobs. And like immigrants, for instance, moving to give us a better life, now we have the time and the money to actually embrace like individualism. You know what I mean? Versus like back then, everyone was farming, and then they had to move from farming to like industrialized cities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a very unique time to be alive, and I don't think,
Yeah, I'm just very grateful to be here right now.
And that's the main reason why I think that we are the way we are today.
Yeah. No. I used to not care about history, but now looking back, I'm grateful that all that happened in history so that we could be here now and be able to have all the technology and all whatever resources we have to do what we can do now. Because, I mean, man, when I think about 20 years ago when I didn't have or when this equipment was so big and clunky and, and like film cameras were so huge and heavy, I'm just like, oh man,
10 times more expensive too.
Yeah,
huh?
and 10 times more expensive. Like, and now I just film this with like a tiny GoPro, and then my audio setup and fits in a backpack. It's just crazy.
So, where do you see like spirituality being like 20 years from now? Do you think it's more of a trend at the moment, or do you think it's something that will like kind of grow and manifest itself into like cultures?
I think from what I've learned, I just remember something. I don't remember who said it, but it was from an astrological standpoint that this is the era of people being just more consciously aware of what's going on. And I feel like in 20 years, a lot of people are just going to be more in tune with themselves, and there's just going to be a lot more love everywhere instead of all these negative emotions that a lot of people go through. I mean, it's a growing step. I mean, the people are probably still going to have these negative emotions of like sadness or anger, but there is this one other person that was like, the world is going to end, but it's going to save all the people who are awakened. So that's like another thing that I want to go. Like, I haven't really.
That sounds like some rupture stuff.
But I haven't researched into it. But that's just something that my other friend has taught me because she read about it in a book. I forgot what book. Sorry, I'm not being a very good researcher right now. But I don't know. Anything could happen.
Yeah, that's
honestly.
true. So one of my favorite scenarios, I think. So later when AI is introduced, to the world.
Oh yeah.
And I see either a few situations where they either take over and we're wiped out, or there's a possibility of us merging with AI. And then from that, as a human species to survive, to compete with them, I guess we would have to merge. But at what point would humanity cease to exist? That we are so far gone from humanity in terms of technological advancement, we're no longer considered human. Do you think that would be a possible step? And then, if so, what would happen to spirituality?
Oh, well...
Because I feel like science and spirituality are always constantly butting heads.
Yeah, but I feel like we're getting to a point where they are merging, like you said, merging. They're merging closer and closer. Because that's just what I've noticed so far. I mean, yeah, I'm talking a lot about the spiritual stuff, but there are bits and pieces where people talk about science because it does interweave.
It does
at times.
But I don't think a lot of people see that.
Yeah. But then that's our job for where we are now to, share that knowledge with the world and be like, there is no reason for them to keep them separate, spirituality and science. I don't even know where that divide came from. Do you know?
What?
Like just a division of where it started?
I don't know. Maybe the church back in when it first, like, introduction of religion. I remember, or maybe it was around like, let's see, I'm trying to think back.
Just spitting out random years? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can't spit out the random years, but I remember it was like certain introductions towards idealisms, like, of oneself, and like, yeah, I should probably not talk about this, otherwise I'm making a complete ass of myself.
Well, I mean,
but there are some videos that I don't remember, word for word, but Kyrgyzstan in a nutshell videos. They're on YouTube, and they're like really well produced animations, but they have all types of subjects that kind of just opens up people's minds to certain subjects. It's like in a nutshell, you know what I mean? So yeah, check out Kyrgyzstan in a nutshell videos for like any subject, and you'll easily become one of your favorite YouTube channels.
How do you spell that? It's
like a German company, so let me look it up right now.
I need help from my friend Larissa. She's German. Trying to remember the question you asked. Going back to
humans.
if humans and when humanity is gonna be wiped out. Is that what you're
or more
asking?
of like we evolved to the point where humanity doesn't really exist anymore.
I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that that's gonna happen because
I could see it happening.
I feel like more and more people. Well, to me, humanity is just. It's always just relating to love, like loving oneself and loving another. But that's just me.
Maybe, but I do see humanity with lots of flaws.
Yeah, I mean, we all have flaws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if we were to evolve to something better than humans, what's wrong with that?
But what is better than humans?
I don't know. I guess not that one. Artificial intelligence.
But that's going back to my last podcast where Karen was saying that we are not better than anything else here. Like, we are all equal. So it's hard for me to think that there's something better than humans when we're all on the same plane. Like, everything on Earth is the same plane. That's natural, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm no better than, a single cell organism, because inside of me is
a single cell organism.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like an endless cog, and when one thing dies off, which is why like extinction is so bad, just because when one thing goes extinct, it messes up with the ecosystem. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess time will tell. I think it's just a fun scenario to think about.
Yeah, no, it is. I used to be the type of person who doesn't really come up with scenarios. Right. Because I would have that mindset of, oh, what's the point of thinking of a scenario? We just need to focus on what's going on now, and then the scenario will happen. So
I think it's important to think of things like that, just in terms of helps with your imagination and critical thinking abilities. Yeah. And you never know when you get put in a situation, and you've already thought about it, so then you kind of have experience with it, I guess.
I like always think about situations too, but then when a situation comes, I like all the things I thought about totally did not happen.
Well,
that's probably a relatable thing to a lot of people, but
I think what causes that mostly is panic.
Yeah. Like when you get into the actual situation, you kind of just stop and just go on autopilot.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that really defines a person, though, in that moment.
I feel like I was like that because I wasn't a very grounded person. And now that I feel like I'm getting closer to becoming more grounded, I wouldn't be as panicky if, a situation did happen that needed me to be, I don't know, out of control or something. Yeah. But it's a step-by-step thing. I mean, going back to just awareness, just being aware that you'd be like that if a situation does happen.
I think it just goes down to just knowing who you are, essentially, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I'm like talking with potatoes in my mouth. I'm being rude. I'm sorry, nature.
Interestingly enough, when I was in Denmark, they were talking about how Swedes sound like. And they were saying Swedish people, it sounds like they speak Danish, but with tomato or potatoes in their mouths.
I don't know what Swedes sound like, though. Is it really Swedes? I thought they were Swedish people.
Yeah, we just call them Swedes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that
Danish,
is that offensive?
I don't know if it is or not.
If
but
you're
the
Swedish
Danish
and you're
like,
watching this, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to offend you.
And I'm sorry that your speech sounds like potatoes in your mouths.
According to
Danish people.
You just have to go there and find out.
Yep.
I was actually just talking to my friends yesterday when we were coming back from the Super Bloom.
What's the Super Bloom?
The Super Bloom is this phenomena where all these poppies are blooming on the fields and everything looks very orange.
Ooh, poppies, like opium?
I'll show you. What? No, not poppies of flowers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Never mind.
I'll show you photos later. But yeah, we went to the Super Bloom yesterday and did a day trip. And we were just talking about how Sweden is the happiest country in the world. Yeah,
right along there with Denmark and stuff like that. They are. I know Denmark is a socialist country. I'm not sure about Sweden, but
this is the stuff that I don't know about. So.
I'm pretty sure it's right up there as well. They are pretty happy, like per capita, and like they have really great social programs. Like a lot of people actually try to go there just to go to jail. Because being in jail is such a comfortable life for them. And like a lot of immigrants, they move there and a lot of them just have really decent benefits and try to go to jail. But what they don't tell you is actually a lot of gangs that have been coming up in Denmark. Yeah. Aww. Like in Copenhagen, there's like a lot of crime syndicates and stuff popping up now.
I love Copenhagen.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty cool spot.
Wait, have you gone?
Yeah, I've been.
Oh, okay.
And so I met this guy in this train, and he just came out of prison. And he got caught up in some crime activity stuff there. But he was saying like children out there, they may be book smart, but they don't really know anything about life. Like one guy, he was telling me how he saw a kid stab another kid to death, and was surprised that kid died.
What?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, the youth in Denmark, from what I'm told from like my older friends and like the older people, they're saying like the lack of respect is like becoming more prevalent.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe just because of all the freedoms that come with being happy all the time.
I don't know. When I went there, I couch surfed, and so I didn't actually get to meet a lot of people, so I didn't really get to talk to a lot of locals. And I don't know. It just seemed like a very carefree place, but maybe I didn't go to the areas that
It is, yeah. No, I mean, for the most part, yeah, it is. But there's just like the dark underbelly.
I mean,
of it.
every place
that's
has
the
their dark
truth.
underbellies.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah, but it's never really talked about, and I think that it should be brought up more to light because there's a lot of underage drinking and just sex as well. But like, I think that's good that there's no sexual repression of the country. You know what I mean? That just breeds more rapists. I feel like, in my opinion, you press them when they want to do something more. Human nature. So I think those parts are good, but it's just like can be out of control from what I've seen. Yeah, and STDs can kind of run rampant. Good thing they have free healthcare. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's probably a portion of why they're one of the happiest places.
yeah. They're unhappy about their taxes though, because it's like half their check is gone.
Because of their care.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See, this is the stuff I'm learning too. The adult stuff that I had to
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
about. I mean, that's not really applicable to us, but just healthcare and taxes.
And
all
other
that.
fun facts, like they hire Eastern Europeans as kind of how like, say like people south from the border kind of move up here to do jobs that no one wants to do. Yeah, so like Eastern Europeans, like the Polish people and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Less taxes.
less taxes.
Yep.
Yeah, you're like going on a tangent that I
Yeah,
totally don't
gotcha.
know about,
Yeah.
and I don't want to like
fun facts of things.
screw
sorry.
anything up or offend anyone. But so going back to DMT.
Yeah, sorry.
Off tangent by a lot.
I feel like I explained everything that I guess my experiences with it.
Like your takeaways.
Yeah, and what I experienced for the most part, other than the visual aspects, because I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to open up that side of myself more. I just don't. I mean, right now I just don't really know how. Maybe I do know how. I just gotta, do it.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever interested.
You're watching the video.
Yeah, just you can probably cut off the camera at this point, but I'll let you try some.
And scene. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to do in a controlled environment. You know what I mean?
But is it considered an illegal drug?
It was outlawed in America, I believe, by the FDA in 2011.
And
So
it
there-
still is.
Yeah, it still is.
Man, laws. Why do you gotta do that? That's why
Well,
we can't have nice things. No, I'm
I
just kidding.
understand
I'm just
because
kidding. I
it's still
understand, too.
so unknown to us. And like scientists, they're legally allowed to test drugs like acid and DMT and all that
and
stuff.
then, like psilocybin.
However, it's like since it's illegal, they'll charge you so much more than just
really?
street price. Yeah, so it's possible to, bring these drugs to the lab and test on it. It's just so inefficient to just because it's illegal.
It's probably because, and you probably have like a lot of
Yeah.
paperwork to go through, and I'm assuming,
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist, so.
Yeah, so all that stuff is just, it's just bureaucracy. I think bureaucracy would be the death of us.
Oh. And next topic.
Yeah.
No, but I do want to experience it one day. Just I don't know when that day is. And the big takeaway here is if you do anything, I feel like if you just consume anything you consume, just gotta be an open mind to it and not let it control you.
Yeah, I say try anything once, except heroin. And probably meth. The really hard stuff
Yeah,
that'll
the
get
really
you hooked
hard
for
stuff.
life.
I'm for like anything natural, and I just from what I researched in DMT, it's in us, and it's like a natural thing that that is created.
That's where kind of the controversy is, because it's kind of natural, but it's also kind of not.
But yeah, it's like kind of not.
Well, just because like the chemicals you extract and do things to it. Like I'd say the most natural way is to do it through ayahuasca tea, or the toads.
Because they excrete DMT?
Yeah, but you gotta be really careful with that because you can actually
Just don't go to the forest and lick some toads.
Yeah, not just, this has to be a specific type of toad, but this toad you can actually OD on and die because it's a strong neurotoxin.
It's very potent.
Yeah, it'll just shut off your nervous system and then you die.
Oh, okay. All right, don't go licking toads, people.
Yeah, or if you do, just be super careful.
Yeah. That'd be really fun. I just can't imagine that. But ayahuasca tea, do you know where you can?
There's actually a lot of spiritual retreats, so if you start looking that up, I can't tell you exactly.
I mean, I'm aware of ayahuasca retreats, especially like in Peru.
Yeah, Peru, South America. There's actually some that do it here in the States. So if you ever, and it's interesting, like the people that do it too, because they have like PhDs, and like in the medicine field, and they're like super intelligent people, and they're open to psychedelics. And these are the people that are just super chill. They're awoke. You know what I mean? They're just
stay woke.
Yeah, exactly. Compared to like the other, no offense, doctors who are just dicks.
That don't care about your emotions.
Yeah, they're just assholes, and you know who you are.
All right, I'm not calling anyone asshole here, but you're gonna have like hate comments in the feed. No,
yeah, I hope so.
No, yeah. But I feel like we are coming to a time where more doctors and nurses are becoming more aware of natural ways of healing, or just natural ways of...
What's that called? Homeopathy or something like
Homeopathy? I think that's the word. I just call it holistic healing.
Okay. There's a lot of controversies with that too, because you know how they say like water has like memory and stuff like that?
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay. So homeopathy is based off of the idea where you take like, say venom, you dilute it in water, and then you dilute that water into more water until it's like 1/100th of the potency, and then you apply it. But then there's basically no trace of what the original source is from, and it's mostly placebo effects.
Oh.
But if it's a placebo and it works, then who cares?
Yeah, then if it works, it works.
It works. Yeah, exactly.
But I do want to, interview more people or have a conversation with more people who are more in that scientific side, or started off in the scientific field and delved into their spiritual side. Because I know a lot of my friends who I've interviewed so far, had a conversation with, they just kind of stumbled upon their spiritual journey because they were feeling lost, or they like had a traumatic experience. So coming up soon, if you are somebody in the science field and you are also very spiritual, hit me up.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great topic. It would be like this, but on steroids, so
on
way better.
Steroids. Bring like the whiteboard and have a lecture with a little.
I think visuals would be pretty intense on this.
Oh yeah, no, I would like just visuals in general. It just always helped me learn too. But that's because I'm very observant of how people, do their actions or however they look or something. I'm just, what is that called? Behavioral science? I guess I'm very interested in behavioral science. And I don't know, that kind of plays hand in hand of how I can tell people's emotions. Because I'm an empath and I can feel people's emotions. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't know where I was going there.
When it comes to people's emotions, I'm not very good at understanding it. Putting myself in other people's shoes.
And that's crazy, because I always grew up just feeling like, oh, I could feel what they're feeling. Because nowadays...
Because you've been through a lot.
Yeah. That's probably why. But yeah, when I come into strangers and they're like bawling their eyes out and they're right next to me, but I'm not looking at them, like I start crying, and it's really wild.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I'm really bad when it comes to people crying. Like, I don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to do when people are crying too, but like when I can just feel or see somebody crying and I can connect with them, then I just start bawling my eyes out because I'm an empath.
See, growing up, I learned to shut off people's emotions to affect me. You know what I mean?
It just stopped.
Oh, when did it stop?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
That's weird.
But yeah, I feel like that's a good cutoff.
No, I don't think that was an hour.
No?
No.
I wonder what we missed.
It was on 30 minutes.
Cut off in 30 minutes?
It did.
Oh, interesting.
It cut off. Yeah, it cut off in 30 minutes.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
What are we even talking about in 30 minutes?
I don't know.
How long has it been?
I don't know. It has been 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. Also the past 10 minutes. Yeah, not too bad.
That's fine. That's happened before. You know, I used to freak out and get really butthurt if something stopped working, and now I'm just like, go with the flow. It happens. Move forward.
I feel like the past 10 minutes has been rambling anyways.
Well, I mean, the audio is still going to be up.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
the video is just going to be like, sorry, GoPro turned off for some reason. But what were we talking about? I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Empathy.
Oh, yeah. Empath. Being an empath. And empathy. Eats a blackberry. We're just capturing our actions.
It's $1 right now at Smith's.
Sprouts. Sprouts. Sprouts is next door. Just saying. But yeah, it's just interesting because you say that you shut people out, but why? So why did you shut people out?
I don't really shut people out. Sorry, it's more of like their emotions. I try to not let it affect me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I never really liked a bunch of random variables coming in. You know what I mean? It's harder to process and control. Yeah, that's pretty much the main reason.
That's good. You're like protecting yourself from other energies, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I've always been pretty good at that.
Well, that's good because then that's like one way to help keep yourself grounded. And it's probably another reason why I wasn't really so grounded, because I was always up in the air.
Right. So yeah, I've always found myself as an emotionally stable person. That's what I called it. I try to not let much fluctuate things.
Yeah, I was definitely an emotional roller coaster. I still am. I mean, just the other week, I was just feeling super down, and my partner Paula was like, "This happens too often," and I told him, "Well, that's your perspective of too often."
That's funny.
I'm like, I'll just stop. I'm just being me, okay? Just let me dwell on this and figure out my lessons from it.
A secret how to make a girl go crazy over you? Just put her through her emotional roller coaster.
Oh my god, we're cutting that out.
Okay, fine.
I have not advice to not listen to. No. But yeah, I am trying to learn how to not block out people's emotions, but rather accept it and just have it go through me, like thoughts too. Just
you're like a conduit for emotions, but like a lightning rod, and then you strike it back into the ground.
You know, it's one way.
That's
one way to describe it.
Yeah.
Science.
That's the only way to describe it, really.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is, but I know I'm like aware. Are you aware of like what toroidal fields are?
No.
So toroidal fields are the energy field that we put out, but then it also goes back in us. So it kind of looks like a donut, and they're like the center of the donut.
That's interesting. Kind of like this.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what black holes emit in terms of energy fields.
For all black holes. But yeah, it's essentially how our energy is flowing.
Okay.
And you know, when people are like, "Oh, you're getting to my bubble," you're getting to their energy space. And so, and that's what happens. That's what happens with me when I get people. I like grab it and then I just let it flow through me, and then I let it flow out.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. But that energy flow sounds exactly like the pattern of a black hole.
Yeah, we're just all black holes.
Pretty much anything with mass has a gravitational pull to them. So, you know, when you talk about how people just seem so attracted, or like everyone just gravitates towards them, technically that's kind of true.
Yeah. And does that mean like trees, for example, have toroidal fields since they have mass? I realize you said anything with mass.
I was anything with mass has a gravitational field. I mean, a gravitational pull.
Oh, pull.
Yeah. So, but I'm not sure really about the energy field that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I know black holes do.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. That's something else we need to talk
Maybe.
Talk about somebody else. Research.
Toroidal fields?
Toroidal fields.
Toroidal fields.
You can find it on Spirit Science. They talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about, really. I mean, is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, not too much. I mean, we're just kind of going along. I'm just enjoying this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just eating some food. I have not been good on not eating meat. But I bought mashed potatoes and vegetables today, so.
I've been terrible with eating vegetables. So, like, other than was it 2 days ago I had a Jimmy John sandwich, which was a vegetarian sandwich. But before that, I haven't had a single vegetable in 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yeah, eat up my broccoli, bro.
I feel like just because I've been, we're just in that society now. We're just constantly working all the time, always on the go. And it's just easier just to pick up fast food.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I broke my meat streak the other day. Because that's the night I did see you, and that's when I broke my meat streak. Because Popeyes, it was either Popeyes or McDonald's. And I'm like, I'll go with Popeyes because it was still open. Mm-hmm. And then I bought chicken, and then I realized, I was like, wait, I could have bought mashed potato and green beans and still stayed meat-free. Because I have that weird perception about going to fast food and having to order something from, like, the main menu.
Yeah. Well, it's true, they do have other options.
Yeah.
What's that, the illusion of choice that we're conflicted with?
Yeah, and that pressure that we put onto ourselves. No, we have to get chicken from Popeye's Chicken.
Yep. When I worked for FedEx and I was like doing other part-time jobs, but the only time I would eat is when I'm in the car driving from one job to the next. And I'll just always have like a Taco Bell taco in my back pocket ready to eat.
How do you not squish that?
It's a soft taco.
But still, you'd think your butt would squish it.
Yeah, it does, but it's a soft taco, so it molds.
So, yeah, it molds to your butt. It's a butt taco.
Turns into a quesadilla, life hacks.
Life hacks. If you just want to make a quesadilla, just put it in your butt pocket. No, that's cool. How long have I known you? Like, at least 5 years.
Yeah, I met you through Pim. Was it for the Yelp event thing?
No.
Oh, because she brought me along to
Did I meet
Yelp
you
Elite.
through Darren?
Manavong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you guys used to b-boy together, right?
We did, actually. And then he chipped his tooth. Do you remember how that happened?
No. I used to game with Darren.
Oh, so you know how he has that nasty-ass chipped tooth
I
right
haven't
here?
seen him in years. So.
Oh, but it happened in high school. And
this is where most people are going to stop.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to just tell you this story right now. It's basically... So we were doing handstands on a skateboard in a competition to see who would be able to do it the longest. And all of a sudden he loses his grip, falls.
And dabs. No, I'm just
dabs
kidding.
pretty much, and like chips his tooth right on concrete, like mouth first. So much blood everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Oh my god. You strange person. No, I'm just kidding. I would be like, oh my god, are you okay? But yeah, I did not know that. Or I don't remember. I mean, I haven't seen him in at least 5 years. But
yeah. Then we've probably known each other for a long time. Say 10 years?
Whoa, I don't know about that long.
Maybe
like
Darren.
8.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, 8.
We'll just probably go back on Facebook and see friendship and see when we added each other.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool. I like how so far I'm having conversations with people I've known for a while and have started this journey of being more awakened and conscious. And then I love meeting new people and hearing what they have to say and learning a lot from them because I don't really know them. It's a good balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah, the people you have on the show, they're quite interesting. And like what they do in their field, and like, also, I didn't know you can make a living from that.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I am going too. I want to take that leap and go into that field. Actually, by the time this podcast is released, I will have told my job that I'm leaving. So
that takes a lot of balls.
I mean, I'm gonna talk about it like on a video and explain why I left it. But I've never kept a job for longer than I take that back. I don't usually keep jobs for longer than a year. Except the one time I was at a job for 2 years, which is the same job I had with Carly, the girl that does yoga. Okay. That's like not a way to classify her, but the one who did the yoga podcast with me. Sorry, I wasn't trying to like label her to just yoga, but
that's cool. Humans just like to label things. It makes things easier.
And it's really hard because I'm trying not to label things because we are just more than a label, and that's where I'm always conflicted with myself. So yeah.
That just sounds like extra work that you have to be more conscious of.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just figuring myself out.
I feel like life is about, let's see, picking and choosing your battles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try not to make things overly complicated than it has to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Chloe, the girl that does yoga.
Her name's Carly.
Oh, Carly! I'm sorry.
I mean, that is a fact. She does yoga. Yeah, I'm just going to be more aware of how I say things too. I've talked about that multiple times already, but
That's true.
yeah, just
Actually, I really need to work on it too. I do step on a lot of toes.
yeah, like calling doctors assholes.
Yeah, they kind of are.
That wasn't me. That's a quote.
That was me.
That was a quote. He said that.
I'll take responsibility for it.
Okay, yeah. Please don't hate me. But I think. Oh, it's really dark actually. I didn't realize that it was so dark.
Yeah, the sun's practically...
Sunset's at 6:51 today.
Did you know that the last minutes that you see of the sun at the edge of the horizon, it's already below the horizon, but the only reason you see the light is because like the atmospheric pressure is too strong and it kind of bends the light. So when you think you see it, it's actually already set it.
Fun facts.
Yeah.
Things I've never learned.
You know, I learned a lot of things off Reddit.
Oh yeah, I never really got into Reddit.
Oh, okay.
But I remember one person went up to me and they were like, "You seem like a Reddit girl."
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that even mean?
I think Reddit is... It's the front page of the internet. Like, everything hits Reddit first. And it starts movements. Like, recently there's been, like, this challenge where on Reddit, everyone is just picking up trash everywhere.
Yeah,
and, like,
good.
posting it. So, the whole entire world through Reddit is just sharing just stories of people cleaning huge mounds of trash off beaches, cities, cleaning everything
that's good.
up. Yeah, it's...
Thanks Reddit. Thanks community
so,
of Reddit.
thank you, Reddit community, for making the world a better place.
You know what I need to do? I need to start posting these podcasts on Reddit.
Yeah.
Because right now, I'm just posting on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, you can find, like, a lot more people like-minded in, you know, just subreddits. Yeah.
Thanks for that idea. I'm going to take that.
Cool.
And start posting it.
Yeah.
Yay,
Hopefully that goes
ideas.
somewhere. I know a lot of them have, like, rules where it's, like, not really self-promoting and stuff like that. But, you know, you just have to work through a few things.
Yeah, I mean, I read the guidelines.
Yeah.
I always read the guidelines and make sure that I don't screw up anything.
But, yeah, actually, you can probably break through. Pretty nice on there. Good amount of viewers.
Yay. All right, I think that's like an hour.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah. It's not really a timeline. I'm chewing with my mouth full. I mean, speaking with my mouth. It's not full.
Yeah, to be honest, I was only expecting to talk to you for like 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Do you not know my podcasts are like an hour long?
I know this is like an hour long, but I noticed, maybe she'll just talk less with me. I don't really have much to say.
In the general range of 50 to an hour, 50 minutes to an hour.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we hit 50 minutes.
Well, I hope people find me entertaining and somewhat informative to the least.
I hope you find get some takeaways about his experience, and remember, don't use that as an expectation of if and when you ever try it.
Yeah.
If it resonates with you, cool.
I think everyone should try it once. I highly condone it. She does not.
No, it's not like I'm not condoning it.
Well, you don't want to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to take
Yeah.
I'll take responsibility.
Yeah. Ryan's taking a lot of responsibility for a lot of things in this podcast. Yeah. So thanks, taking the hits for me.
Yeah.
If something ever happens out there.
Yep. Well, Brian said.
Yeah, Brian said, and I have a voice clip. So, documentation. No, but I have a lot of new projects, after I, drop the ball on my coworkers that I'm going to leave. I have a lot of new projects coming out. Actually, I'm going to interview Alex soon.
Alex who?
Kahaloe. The B-boy. Or he used to B-boy. Remember him?
I don't.
Hawaiian? I thought you knew him. Just kidding. Well,
I think I do know him.
Most
of the
a new
B-boy
project will be
community
coming out. First episode is going to be, here's a hint. First episode is going to be someone I used to date named Alex Kahaloe.
Oh, is that from Durango? Wait, he went to Durango too, right?
No, he went to Clark.
He went to Durango Break Club.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I mean, probably. He tried to teach me how to break, and I was too shy.
That's funny. All the girls that had crushes on breakdancers back then. Teach me how to breakdance.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
That was me. But I think he actually taught me after we had already broken up.
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
You'll see it in the first episode. We'll talk about it.
Cool. All right.
So, yeah, sneak peek. Little hint for the next project that I'm coming up with. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm helping you out with that too, right? With some of the projects with the RV.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I'm gonna be vlogging everything with the RV. So.
Okay, all right, so that's not secret.
That's not secret.
Okay.
That's like already on my YouTube saying that
Gotcha.
where I'm gonna do it. But yeah, you're like RV. Yeah. I just have a lot of stuff under my belt that I'm ready to unleash to the world and on YouTube and the internet.
Is the world ready?
I don't know. I don't care.
No.
I'm ready.
Oh, good.
I'm ready. I'm just like, take everything. Here's all my knowledge. Please don't hate me. Okay. Thanks
And
for being
break.
here.
Oh, thank you.
And sharing all your experiences and fun facts and kind of being like the other side of spirituality.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But remember, balance. Have both. It's okay.
You know what'd be cool? A fun fact.
Damn it,
podcast.
it stopped recording again.
Oh, okay.
Well, the video did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this video is going to be really
No
not
worries,
that
no
great.
Yeah.
Wait, are you going to say something?
No. I was just thinking of a fun fact podcast.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
Ding.
Like a 5-minute podcast every time.
Do you,
fun fact.
do you want to know, or do you want to say where people can find you online, or you don't really?
Huh?
Do you want to say where people can find you online, or does it not really matter? to
Doesn't
you?
matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, leave hate comments for Brian. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love Brian. Thanks for being here.
Well, appreciate you for having me.
And eat well. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm not going to record the video anymore because we're closing out. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you got something out from this.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in for the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you survived this long, I don't know why.
If you're still listening, then I don't know what to tell you. But goodbye for now. So long, farewell. Vida, say goodbye. Is that the song?
I don't know the lyrics. I always tune out after that part.
Okay, well, until next time.